Marco!
Hello!
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 Marco! I didn't have it in my hand! Hey! Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco! Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco! Marco!
Hello!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello! Marco!
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 Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
And Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello!
Marco!
Hello! He can see! His eyes are open!
What's up, guys? Pastor Carlos here, and in this DIY tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the moonwalk. You can do it yourself. Let's get started. You guys ready to moonwalk? You show up to a party. First, you got to do put on your moon shoes. Slap them on. Walk into the party. Walk. Freeze. All right. Then you're just gonna pow. See that? Walk into the party. Pow. And then you just bring that sucker back. Not too far back, because you gotta pop it back. All right. So you're here, and you just bam, 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 and just do it again. Up. Nope, not going that way. Pow. And then you just do your own thing, all right? That's the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, we're gonna have a face-off. I'm facing somebody down. I refuse to do this walk in church shoes. Sneakers only. Love you guys.
Crossing students, we are so delighted that we are joining you again. I know you just saw us do an awesome episode of Marco Polo Dodgeball. I'm pretty sure, I don't know who hit me in the head, but somebody nailed me right in the head. I'm pretty sure it was Pastor Carlos. And then you saw Pastor Carlos do the best moonwalk I think I've ever seen, but I'll let you guys decide that. Tune in right now, get ready, get set. We're gonna do a quick El Sofa, and we have an awesome word coming to you guys. Check it out.
What's going on, Pastor
get
Carlos?
started.
Whoa, right back here. No, whoa, back here, dude.
Get off.
Back here,
What's
dude.
going on? What's El Sofa?
Back here.
What's El Sofa?
Back here.
At least 3 foot.
Back here.
What's up, guys? Pastor Carlos here. Welcome to El Sofa, but I mean, clearly I don't fit there. El Silla in Spanish, that means El Chair. Welcome to this segment. We have Pastor Cole and Pastor Trent. So let's get started. All right, question number 1. You ready?
Yeah,
Got
let's
that
go.
fresh Abercrombie hair. All right. Name a famous duo, good versus evil, that you really liked. Could be growing up, could be...
All right. President Snow, Katniss Everdeen.
The Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Okay. So we'll just
Skip.
just pull that out. What about you, Pastor Trent?
I think for me, it was growing up, I was thinking probably Peter Pan and Captain Hook. I was so afraid of Captain Hook growing up because
Really?
my parents let me watch the movie. Yeah, so
Wait,
good versus evil.
did your dad have like a big mustache?
Never had a handlebar mustache.
Oh, interesting. I mean, out of all those, you could have said Dexter's Laboratory, Dexter versus Sister,
Versus Dee Dee, his sister.
Powder Puff Girls, Mojo Jojo. Mojo Jojo. That was mine. Yeah, cool. All right, next question. In middle school or high school, do you think you were light to those around you? Would you say you were? How were you light? Pastor Trent, we're going to go with you first.
Oh, trick me out.
I think to certain people, I would have considered myself a light. But I think there was a group of friends I found myself around where I was intimidated. Like I felt like if I didn't act a certain way or do certain things, I would be excluded. And so instead of being a light to them and sharing about the Lord, I kind of did the opposite and I just followed along with them. But I think there was a small group that I did share and then a larger group that I didn't share anything with.
Man, same. It's so good. I mean, that's the same exact thing for me. It was like I wanted to fit in, so I felt like I needed to please that. Man, same. Go. Good luck following that.
I'm going to say no.
So you were.
Honest answer.
Hey, well, we appreciate your honesty.
So you ever walked in a room and turned on like a fluorescent light bulb and it goes
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't turn on. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time it didn't turn on. But there was moments to where like, yeah, you could be a light and do like a good thing, but most of the time it just didn't work. No. And I appreciate your honesty. You just flat out saying no. Do you ever think about moments where you could have been light? Of course,
like
of
from
course.
High school.
Yeah, like, so there's so many moments you could go back on and just be like, well, if I would have just been a little bit more mature or less selfish, or you could have done so much more. You could have made more of the opportunity that was in front of you, but no regrets.
Dude,
no regrets.
That's so good. Every day,
Not even a single one.
Every day is an opportunity. All right, so, man, that's so awesome. This concludes El Sia, not El Sofa today. Thank you, Pastor Trent and Pastor Cole, for coming out. Remember, you guys, every day is an opportunity.
Hey.
What's up, you guys? This is Pastor Toree. We are in a new series called Glow, and I am so excited. One, I'm excited about the things that the Lord is going to show you, and two, since it's titled Glow, that means that I could bring out glow sticks, which are honestly some of my favorite things. I don't know why. I feel like whether you're 5 or 35, if you throw glow sticks at something, it's at least like 3 times more fun. Not a real statistic, but it's a Toree statistic. I remember a couple of years ago at kids camp, maybe actually some of you were there, we had a huge glow party. We did glow in the dark paint and there were black lights, and I'm pretty sure I even had a glow stick braided in my hair, like true story. But I remember it being so much fun. And I remember when I was little, did you ever like cup the glow stick in your hand and just see like, how much can I really see it in the dark? Something about them is so fun. It's attractive, different colors, showing up in a dark room. It's just fun. And so I love this series because we're going to talk about how we can glow for Christ, how we can be attractive to others and bring people in relationship with God from glowing outwardly from our hearts. So I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. Let's go to the first book of the first chapter of the Bible. Look at Genesis 1, 3 through 5. Let's go ahead and read. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. Okay, so off the bat, I noticed something really significant. Is when the Lord created light, he said, light is good. And I think it's so cool, and the Lord is so powerful that he said something at the foundation of the earth before humans were created. He said something. He said light is good, and it has somehow, well, not somehow, it's by his power, it has seeped into our culture, it has seeped into our thought processes, and it's just the way we naturally think about things. So think with me for a second. If you are talking to someone who is struggling, they would describe themselves or their situation as like a dark place. Or even if you're into poetry and writing and you look at symbolism and imagery, a lot of times caves or spaces of darkness are seen as isolation or fear and things that are evil. And when we look at and think about light, it is hope and joy and peace and things that we desire naturally to go to. You're drawn towards light. You're drawn towards things that glow. And then even in like pop culture, I know that the guys mentioned, the good versus evil duos where you have Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, or if you're into the new Star Wars, Rey and Kylo Ren, whatever, I don't know. I'm not a Star Wars girl, as you can see. But it has just made its way into our thoughts and how we think. And so along those lines, we want to, acknowledging that there is good and that there is evil in this world, we want to glow. So throughout this whole series, we want to get to a place where we grow, and glow for Christ. So first, let's look at what glow means. The dictionary describes it as 1, to share with or as if with an intense heat. Or number 2, to experience a sensation of or as if of heat. So in our context, to me, that feels like you're illuminating a light, a brightness, a heat, a warmth from inside of you. And I don't know about you guys, but I desire to have that be people's perception of me with Jesus as the light of my life. So I want us to look at what Jesus says about this, because it's really good to talk about things we should do, but I think that we need some practical application and to break down the scripture on what this means and how we can actually glow, how we can get there. If you'll look with me to the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 13 through 16. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify our Father in heaven. So this is such a cool scripture. I want to break it down to a couple of different parts, okay? First, I want to look at salt and light, and then I want to look at the 3 different ways that we can be light that Jesus says in the scripture. So, salt. To us, it seems like salt is not a big deal. It's something that you put on your food. It has turned into slang where if you're sassy, you're salty. That is not what it meant to the Israelites. To the people in this time, salt was a necessity. They did not have power to have a refrigerator to keep their food preserved. If they didn't have salt, they basically lost all of their food. So not only did it bring flavor, but it also was like a lifeline to them. So the Lord is saying, you are a lifeline in this earth. You are important. And then going on, we're light. We are something that is seen from afar. We are something that is to be looked at as having joy and having peace, something that's attractive. And something else too is that in scripture, the Lord is explained symbolically as light sometimes too. And that light means that it shines through the darkness. It uncovers the things that the enemy is doing. So it uncovers shame. It uncovers sin that we deal with. And really, when we encounter people, we want the Lord to be shining through us so much that those things come out so that there can be healing and restoration and peace. Okay, going on. The scripture says, hill, don't hide, and shine your light. So a city on a hill. If you have ever seen the city of Tampa, I don't know if there's a time that I've ever seen the city of Tampa not shining really bright. All of the lights of the city, cars rustling around, people walking up and down the streets. If there was a bustling city on a hill, you're going to see it from a long way away. And what the Lord is saying to us in the scripture is to stand tall in our faith, to be visible, visibly promoting the things of a Christ follower. First, though, that starts in your heart, and we can't fake it. So, and through all of this, you guys, just hear my heart. All of this comes from relationship with God. And if there are moments where you feel like you're not shining or you struggle, don't feel shame for that. We are all taking steps towards becoming more of a light, okay? So don't feel shame as I go through these things, okay? So a hill, stand tall, be proud of your faith, be proud of your God who saved you. And then the second one is don't hide. The verse says, who lights a lamp and then puts a bowl on top of it? Don't be ashamed of what the Lord is doing inside of you, of what the Lord is saying to you, and the peace and restoration that it brings as you pursue God. And then the last one is let the light shine. The verse says, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. There are verses in the Bible about how we are Christ's ambassadors, how it's our job on earth to live such a light full of life, to glow so brightly that people are attracted to Jesus, that they want what we have. And you guys, this is all a lot more easily said than done. I gotta be honest. The guys answered that question about if they were a light or not. And I asked myself that question. And the Lord kind of revealed to me that there were times, similar to Pastor Trent, there were times where I was a light, but then there were times where I hid my light from people, especially in middle school and high school. I was nervous about what they would think of me, or I didn't want to push too hard on their belief system or whatever. But as I was studying for this and preparing for this, the Lord took me back to those moments, and I just saw the darkness that surrounded them, and I didn't have the boldness to bring light. So I want to encourage you this week in particular, what can you do to be a light? We have a lot of different platforms. You have your family, you have your team, you have the people that are around you, you have social media, which is, you have so much influence, more than you even know. And so we're in a time of a lot of darkness. I don't have to tell you what's going on, but I want to challenge you. What can you do to be a light? Is it posting a scripture on your Instagram? Is it helping your family at home? Is it being there for your brother or sister who's struggling? Is it praying for your mom and dad? Whatever you can do, the Lord calls us to be a light. So I wanted to challenge you with that, and I wanted to pray with you. And I pray that the Lord stirs something inside of you to evaluate and go, am I being a light? Am I hiding? Am I standing tall? Am I showing people who Jesus is? And I want to encourage you to do that. So I'm going to pray, and then we'll head out, okay? Jesus, thank you for these students. God, we thank you that your light is so bright inside of us. God, I speak against any shame that would try to come and tell these students that they haven't been doing enough. God, your purpose is to encourage us into following you deeply and to shine from our relationship with you. So God, I just speak light inside of these students' lives, God, that people would encounter them and immediately know that something is different, God, that they are your ambassador, and that you would open up ways for them to shine, whether it be individual conversations or at home or from whatever social media platform they use, God, that you would just make a way for them to shine. We thank you, Jesus, in your name. Amen. We love you guys.
What an awesome message from Pastor Toree about glowing for the Lord. Man, when I think about glowing for Jesus, I think about sunsets. Why do you ask? Well, I'm going to tell you. The reason is because when there's a beautiful sunset outside, which if you've lived in Florida for 3 months, you've seen one, it's just an amazing sight to look at. And I go on Snapchat right after I look at a sunset, and there'll be like 100 people posting the same photo of this sunset and the glow that it has, the beauty that it has. When we glow for Jesus, there's a beauty that's spread to other people. So I want to encourage you, reach out to those around you, your friends, your loved ones, and spread Christ with them. If you have any prayer requests at all, we want to pray for you. Please reach out to us on Instagram or email us, and we will pray for you in person. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon.